Stand to McWhirrs, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And the last time we got ourselves our very first heavy mech, a Warhammer 7A, which is a former SLDF style Warhammer, which means it has an integrated SLDF double heatsink kit, which automatically gives you -5 weapon heat. 5% weapon heat just off the top. It's beautiful. It's lovely. I can't wait for a month to go by when we can actually field it. However, we have time between then and now, and also a bit of a hunger for more equipment and potentially more heavy mechs should we be able to tune things. And with that in mind, supply lines. Commander, having to safely transport injured personnel to one of our facilities on Duxford. Unfortunately, satellite surveillance has shown local government units operating in the region. We're expecting to move our medical convoy through. We need a mercenary lance to sweep the area and eliminate any local government units. Please think of this contract as a mission of mercy. This will be 378,800 steeples, 2 of 9 priority salvage, 2.5 skulls difficulty, mainly so that we can continue to train up Showboat, who has become our resident Griffin pilot. Although that Griffin definitely needs a modification, but we'll talk about that later. So, dropping down on the planet with our pretty solid lance at this point, we have Paradox in the Burner Boy, which is demonstrated it's actually quite capable of handling mechs on its own. Death Crusade in our fairly interesting and a little bit too toasty Bushwhacker. Mockingbird driving the Shadowhawk with all that risky gear. Howl taking on the Mini Gladiator in sort of her mini Warhammer. And Finn driving the Nova with the Hyper Assault Gas Rifle 20. Shadehawk driven by Jester with its Rack 5, which is a lot of fun. Showboat driving the Griffin, which needs a bit of a tweaking. And Coach in the Wolverine, which I believe was our first medium once you ignore the absolutely terrible Shadowhawk that we had until we finally modified it with all the risky equipment. Alright, so a bit of a trip between us and the target, so let us get on the way. I think we'll head up first, see if I can't avoid having to, be fighting while crossing the river. That tends to not end tremendously well. So I think we'll flank around on here. That way we have some hill cover and some footage cover for us to be extra aggressive. So with that plan in mind, let us move out. Now, there is a mission that I'm really eager to take, and it's a 3.5 skull mission. It's interrupted exercises, which should be pretty fun. The only problem is Paladin, who I was very much planning to be a part of that operation, is dead. So with Paladin dead, I have to train up Showboat to at least a level where she's got the sprint ability, kind of, is where I'm thinking I need to be. Because if we don't have that, we might be just a little bit too slow. I'm not quite sure how the mission would turn out. So I kind of want to get Showboat a couple more levels. So we're probably going to try and finish off most of the planet before jumping off over onto that particular mission so we can sort of finish things off in that way. I know I'm super eager to try and get that mission done because I wanted to get heavy mech, although with the Warhammer Godden, it's not as super important anymore that we get that mission in. I desperately want to get a pilot up so we can actually handle it. There are a couple of mechs that do need some tweaking, but honestly, once I get the Hunchback online and that Warhammer fully set up, that might actually be where we want to mostly be set up in until we start, shifting more into heavies. I did have to go through and do a lot of shopkeeping recently in order to save like 200,000 worth of C-bills that we were currently sucking away for just random equipment and parts that we had. So I've started streamlining the company a little bit. I got rid of parts that I either already have mechs for, or I'm not really interested in because they don't have new models for them. Really, I'm kind of a kleptomaniac when it comes to trying to collect different looking mechs. I mean, yeah, having a nice cohesive unit of all Bushwhackers is really cool, but I'd like to have like Bushwhackers and a Talos and maybe a Dervish or two. Give me a couple of Marauders, that kind of thing, where I like to spread out so we get a lot of visual differences between things. It's one of the reasons actually why I'm not super psyched about my Shadowhawk and the Wolverine, because the Shadowhawk and the Wolverine look darn near identical from a bit of a distance. The Griffin has less of that problem because it's got that cool missile launcher on the shoulder, which I may end up swapping a couple of pieces of equipment around, but I kind of like that Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt on the Griffin is actually just a lot of fun to use. Kind of want to keep it because of that. But it might be a good idea to swap it out for something a little less easily plucked out of the sky by AMS, because it is a very vulnerable piece of equipment. And it's only a Thunderbolt 10. Now, recently we did manage to pick ourselves up an Arrow missile launcher, which, if I can find 15 tons, I might actually be able to throw it on that mech. And you can find 15 tons on a 55-tonner mech. It's entirely possible. It's something we could do if I really tried to focus on it. And I have enough ammunition to keep that missile launcher running endlessly. However, I think right now, if we were to try and do that, we would need a whole bunch more things like Endo, Pharaoh, certain types of engines. Oh, is this deep water? No, I was just not sprinting. So we'll hopefully be able to cross in here. That'll give us the cover that we need to before we engage that force, instead of just, you know, being caught in the middle of the water and having to slow slog. Quite a few of my mechs are kind of designed for closer range combat. I tend to issue sort of long range weapons like LRMs, although we have quite a few medium to long-ish range weapons like Gauss rifles. But yeah, our big heavy hitters, they kind of want to be up close and personal. So we're gonna jump all the way forward on here, because we're not generating any sort of heat anyway when we do it, and bracing will take care. Oh, we're generating a little bit of heat actually. So we just need to keep on the move. Although there may be a little bit of a limit as to where I may have to go make landfall right up over here instead, just in order to ensure that people don't get, you know, too screwed up on that. So we'll start to continue to move forward a little bit, facing towards the enemy, because the enemy is a little bit further outside of range, so we should be okay with this one. So we should be able to continue and move the entire company to a proper location. So I did store and test to see the price of how much it would cost in order to put all the urban mechs into storage. Unfortunately, it doesn't reduce it as much as you'd think, and selling it would reduce it even more. So I have sold the Javelin and a few of the urban mechs alongside getting rid of other things. Also, we recently found out that it's going to cost us like 2 million C-bills or so per part to build that Risk Irby, so I finally just sold it. Because we had 3 parts to it. We needed 1 more in order to be able to actually build off of other things. But in order to actually use it as use other things for parts, we would have had to spend ridiculous amounts of cash. And well, I'm actually doing pretty well on the cash front now, which is why I took a 2 of 9 mission for cash instead of, you know, the 1 point something billion C-bills in salvage we would have gotten had we taken it for all money. I don't have that much cash. We're actually doing fairly well on cash at the moment. I believe we're just over, we have over 3 million C-bills. We might be up to 4 million at this point, because we did do basically a full culling of things that I did not want to keep anymore. So we're doing pretty good on money. Should be able to pick up the next level of either the Gamma Pod in order to sort of finish the exterior of the ship, or perhaps we may move into the medical facility. I may go medical facility just to ensure that I have a little bit more of a cushion in order to sort of save my pilots should they accidentally come down with a bad case of the dead. Also, there is a special event that comes up if you have a pilot who's been in the medical ward for a while, where they can just potentially die. Yeah, I actually ran into that campaign in a previous run-through of the game. I believe it was actually a vanilla one, and it was not particularly enjoyable to have, so I kind of would like to get my hands on that upgrade just in case. Alright, we're all feeling inspired even before the engagement occurs. That's going to be nice and aggressive. Keep on moving forward. Looks like we're going to be able to move into our position. Now we're going to have to cross some broken terrain, which is obviously less than ideal, but I think we'll be able to handle it quite nicely. So surging forward, still not in line of sight, so we're going to be having most of the company in a good position, then that means. So we'll just shift everybody back over onto the ground, start laying our ECM protection down so the enemy cannot actually find us. So we're going to be perfectly safe and utilizing our single clan mech. The fact that we have this Nova really kind of amuses me. Although I think that Nova was one of the more, not capturable, but one of the more captured mechs, simply because it was so gosh darn common. Although, with that said, when you start looking... Ooh, we found the enemy. And it's a warrior. Okay, warriors I'm not super concerned about, if I'm completely honest. Because the warrior is a fairly simple helicopter. Doesn't have any kind of really crazy gear on it. I could try and go for sort of an ultra long range shot. If he's got any sort of ECM, he could block me pretty hard. We'll take a peek. Yeah, lob it. Missed by 30%. Had we hit, that would have completely shattered the warrior entirely, which is why I made the shot anyway. Also, I will have a shot with you as I move through the marsh in order to reduce my stability damage. A pair of 25s will lob more fire, and there goes the warrior. So engagement has begun, and it started already with the enemy losing one of their units. So feeling pretty good about that one. Because we do want to... Oh, we got incoming long-range missiles. LRM-5, not able to connect on us. It could be an MML equipped with LRMs, but probably not. So no real connections on that one. Oh, you are a Vindicator, really? Huh. Wasn't expecting that one. But yeah, a Vindicator has a PPC LRM-5 medium laser and either a small laser or a pair of machine guns, depending on the variant that you're actually working with. I believe, well, somewhat stupidly, in my opinion, is they installed the medium laser in the head, and then in the lore about the Vindicator, they blatantly point out the fact that the Vindicator has a weakness towards the head when somebody tries to eject. They just simply can't seem to do it because they hit the bulge of the cooling housing of the medium laser. Well, it also has a small laser in the arm, so it makes sense to me that you would reverse those two so you didn't have as big of a cooling jacket bulge to have to worry about ejecting out of. But what do I know? It's not like I designed mechs or anything. But yeah, it really kind of seems like really dumb things were done. Oh, we got a Hades. Incoming PPC, sensors impaired. So we're going to want to get him into cover pretty gosh darn quick, because that's not something I want to fight. And be stupid about. Got a commando, not too scared. So, oh, it's a Loki Prime. I think I have a couple of Loki parts. Or is that? No, that's the other campaign. So we got a Vindicator, we got a Loki, we got a Commando, we've got a Yellow Jacket, which needs to die, a Ferret, which I'm not super worried about, and a Bandit Hovercraft. So all in all, that's entirely handleable, should we manage to get ourselves a couple of decent shots. I'm really kind of surprised that I don't have a line of sight on the helicopter. The Yellow Jacket should be rather easy to see, but I suppose not. I'm going to come out over here. Rough terrain, a couple of obstructed shots. I'll run the gun at a stage 3. That'll be nice and safe as we blast on towards the Vindicator. I don't have a ridiculous amount of ammo in this mech, so we do need to keep that in mind. Also, did you jam the gun? You're good. Okay. He was running that gun, firing 6 shots every single round for quite a long time in the last episode, which was rather impressive. Yeah, we're not going to have a whole bunch to work with. I'm going to sprint out over here, build up my evasion, also stay within the ECM barriers that we currently have going while we continue to press on forward. We are being funneled a little bit, but I think we can take care of that. Ferret coming on forward. Unfortunately, he's got some ECM to start jamming us, and he has a PPC. Really, that's a lot more firepower than I would have ascribed to a Ferret. But hey, maybe we can actually take him out pretty easily and have a nice, easy day. Sprint on forward with the Shadowhawk. Get ourselves within cover. That actually will give us a fairly accurate shot on the Ferret. 27%. If I switch over to SRMs, it's still 27%. So if it's going to be 27%, no matter what I do, I may as well go for the additional damage. Because any hit will matter more if I hit him with these. So there is apparently an AMS out there, which is unfortunate, because nobody likes AMS. I'm going to sprint on towards the normal street. This will allow us to get ready to move even faster in the next round. Of the Griffin shall surge on forward. Won't have a terrifically accurate shot. 7.8, it's not all that good. You know what we're going to do? We're going to set this sucker over to a Thunderbolt High Explosive. We're going to go for that aimed shot once again and see if I can't just nick this guy, because I don't understand why I can't seem to touch him. So lob a missile off his way. It looks like we didn't get anywhere near it, so that's okay. The Gladiator can start moving up forward as well, get into cover, managing to sort of double up on the protection. See if we can't cut through his defenses. Did get a hit with a PPC and managed to damage him, so he has been exposed. Unfortunately, I think that might be the armor, which if it's, or the turret. So if it's the turret, we've gotten, oh no, his frontal armor is almost dead. Good. Bandit surging on forward as well. Doesn't look like he's back in an ECM, so as long as I can just finish blitzing down this Ferret, I should be in a pretty comfortable position. Unfortunately, we're all moved already. Incoming fire. Doesn't look like the Vindicator's actually got a line of sight. Otherwise, he would have fired that PPC by now, because it's a fairly excellent weapon for long-range work. Oh no. We've got a thermal barrack carrier. Right, so this is a Thunderbolt carrier out there somewhere equipped with thermal bolts, which are very dangerous. And there he is, a light hybrid carrier, TBM LRM. Right, he's got a lot of TBMs though. I'm not quite sure where he's cramming in the LRMs onto that thing if he's a light carrier. Jeez. Well, those might be Thermobolt 5s, which is much less dangerous than, you know, a Thunderbolt 10. But we'll find out in the very near future. Jester, you've got the Shadehawk. You've got a shot. You do have shoot and scoot. Lovely. So you're going to run this gun out of 5. I only need the one hit. Oh, I hit him twice. Oh boy, I hit him twice. Managed to do damage to 2 different locations, unfortunately, so it didn't quite kill him. But he certainly has been tagged at this point. He's opened up 2 armor locations. Another one almost has been shattered, so he's not feeling super healthy. He's only moving out of 13, so we really have a good... Oh, it's a Mr. Stabby. He's gotta die. This is a commando with a vibroblade, or a vibro knife on him, which is incredibly deadly. We used to have one in our Rippers Rumblers campaign, and he proved to be one of the most dangerous mechs we ever built, to the point where I'm very, very scared of him, so please handle this. Oh, unfortunately, they managed to shoot down all of our SRMs. More importantly, despite the fact that we managed to nail with an ultra auto cannon shell, it hit another side location. So he's got 2 sides where he's almost popped, and then another side where he's still feeling kind of peachy. There goes the Loki. It's going to fire another pair of PPCs. Apparently it's a Hades now. Oh no, Hades is the hero version of the Loki. Got it. Basically a special version of the Summoner. Alright, so Burna Boy could probably just get on in here and torch things, but I'm going to have Finn try and do it. Now, the reason why Finn's going to do it instead of Burna Boy is because the Burna Boy could theoretically kill anything it wants on its own. So if we can pull that one off, that would be ideal, whereas the Nova has a Hag. The Hag might be able to pull off exactly what I need. Got it. Okay, perfect. So that was the plan. And now the other part of the plan is to run on forward with the Burna Boy against the Bandit Hovercraft in order to take that one out before it can do anything crazy. We got some movement coming in from the background. Are you the Vindicator? You are indeed the Vindicator. Missed by 80% and almost hit us with the Wolverine as well, and that would have been quite painful. Paradox! Let's get the Burna Boy on the move. So it's full on sprint so he can keep himself covered as best as he can. This will actually break line of sight with... What are you? Oh, the Commando SB. Yep, we're gonna get the range out a little bit further from the Commando SB. Fairly decent accuracy on the Flamer Plus Plus, so let's see if we can't burn him down before he can actually do anything too dangerous to me. And that'll take out the vehicle. Alright, so we got the 2 vehicles destroyed. One of them was a jam. Oh, yes, you are currently emitting a massive jamming field. So we gotta take out that Yellow Jacket soon as we can. Why do I not have a line of sight? Well, I can get one here, so I'm gonna be ultra aggressive about it. See if we can't pluck you from the skies. Yellow Jackets are very dangerous. We want to take care of it. Yellow Jacket taken care of. All right, moving forward. Light Rail was a primitive one, too. All right, so that did not remove the ECM. The Hades is packing an ECM kit as well. Oh, and we've moved up to our Radical Heatsink Flush. We got to keep that in mind, because if that gets sort of out of control, bad luck for everybody. All right, 11% chance. I'm just going to attack ground it. I'm going to lob a missile your way. A little bit of damage on multiple targets, which is good. Sort of scattering across the entirety of the armor, so nothing too serious just yet. But we have plans, and plans within plans. Are moving the Shadowhawk on forward with all of its missile launchers. They are ready to go. We actually have a fairly decent shot over on you. If I switched over to LRMs, it is the same. So let's see if I can't take care of Mr. Stabby from a range. Who's got the AMS? We're about to find out. Mr. Stabby has been badly damaged. His legs are exposed, which is a very, very bad thing for him, because when his legs are exposed, he can lose them quite quickly. Once that happens, oh, you better believe we're going to take advantage of it. Right there. It's going to be a Gauss rifle only shot, but I'm going to try and make it 10%, 14, yeah. Oh, that was worse than I thought it was going to be. We hit him? Oh my god, we hit him. So we managed to take out his heavy medium laser already, so... Yeah, he's having a bit of a bad day. Taken care of on that one. We still have the Hades to worry about a little bit as they're shifting the Vindicator. Oh no, it's the Thermobolt liner. He's going to try and target the Gladiator with all of that heat, plus 21 heat. However, the Radical Heatsink kit should handle most of that with its additional flush of 20. So as long as I don't go too aggressive on that, I ought to have things mostly under control. Yeah, this Commando is incredibly vulnerable already. If I might be able to take out his engine, but it might be a better idea to target the Hades. He's already pretty toasty. Well, not insanely toasty, but fairly toasty. I'm going to see if the Nova can't handle Mr. Stabby, because he should have a covered shot with a fairly wide array of different weapons, and we should hopefully get a shot on this one. 30%, let's see if we can't blow up his arm. Oh, wow, nailed him with both of the large lasers, and then tore through him with the Hag. He's lost his other torso. He's not exactly going to be all that effective anymore. Without arms, the mech is, well, he's got nothing. He has nothing at the end of the day. He's lost his Vibro Shiv, which was kind of the most important thing about his melee capability. So that means the Burna Boy is fully free to go after anybody he wants to. Now, I am tempted on some ways to try and go after you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprint extra fast and extra long in order to see if I can't get a line of sight on both of you. So easy shot, harder shot, also fairly hard shot, but I'm going to see if I can't take you out. It was the Flamers that kind of convinced me to do it. Inferno's weapon creek, it's almost, but the light carrier is still intact. I may end up sending somebody else to go and try and take care of that, and the person who may take care of that is probably going to be the Wolverine, because it should have a fairly decent shot. It's a fairly accurate mech, especially for long-range work, but not that accurate, unfortunately, only 20%. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of incendiaries going down. Do not have multi-target, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm going to take a shot anyway, because I've got to focus this thing down. With those incendiary LRMs, he may end up being rather dangerous, and I don't have to worry about that. Yes, the Hades is providing some jamming, but I might be able to handle that. Also, he is getting rather toasty, and if he continues to be aggressive, the Burna Boy can turn around and utterly torch him. Also, if the Shadowhawk gets within range soon, then we're really going to have some fun times with that one, because the Shadowhawk's got 40 missiles, and the Hades came in for a punch on the Burna Boy. That's surprising. Nailed us for 40 damage on the arms. It's such a good-looking mech, I gotta admit it. He doesn't have any support weapons, so he didn't end up firing on that one, but he does have his back towards Howl, and Howl can basically come in and annihilate him if Howl wanted to. Howl needs to be very careful of flames, though, because Howl is a bit too thirsty at the moment. That may be the task, the movement that we want to make, so let us take aim. Shut off the MMLs? No, we're going to keep the MMLs on. 70, never mind, 47%. Shut off the MMLs for the heat control. Twin stun those PPCs to the back. That was a mistake, sir. And that's been taken care of. The Shadehawk can also get in on this action if... Oh, look at how fast this mech moves. So, yeah, 27% according to that. But when we actually look at the actual accuracy, 55, 48, because we're going to run this gun. Should have gone with full Punisher, but you know what? He is definitely taking a little bit of damage. Did we hit anybody else friendly in the back? Where's the Burner Boy? Burner Boy's fine. And did we accidentally hit you? No. Alright, so we've got that taken care of. Mockingbird into the Shadowhawk. Now this is the one that's just going to absolutely turn everybody off. Or Death Crusade. Death Crusade's a long range. We're going to wait until Mockingbird fully turns this thing off. So slot in right in between everybody. We're going to get in there with the Infernos. So got a shot on the Hades. Switch these suckers over to short range missiles. Set them to Inferno mode for the maximum damage. 78% accuracy on this one. Let's see what happens when you light a Hades on fire. Oh, his AMS kicked in. But it wasn't enough. His engine has been destroyed. I'm kind of hoping he's not fully dead, but he probably is. Alright, Death Crusade, we've managed to take care of your primary target, so do you have a shot on that Thunderbolt carrier? That will be the real question. You are actually going to have that shot. It's going to be an ultra long range shot, I'd imagine, but it is existing. 21%, make it happen. And he slotted it. Alrighty, a 1 in 5 chance, and he took down that carrier. So now we're down to just a part of a Mr. Stabby, as well as a Vindicator, which is not all that super aggressive, so we should be able to handle both of them, although the Burner Boy is going to have to suffer from a little bit of heat trouble. Oh, point-blank range blast out into us. Managed to nail us with that PPC from the Vindicator. But it's surprising considering the PPC has a bad close-range thing. Oh, he hot-loaded his LRMs, which have misfired and damaged, so the Vindicator is starting to suffer. Mr. Stabby is now on the roll. I'm not sure if he can... Oh, he can get into range? No, he can't quite make it. How unfortunate for him. So we're just going to sprint on forward. We do have a back shot. Set the Thunderbolt back onto normal mode. 43%. Oh, just utterly annihilated by the Thunderbolt. Not bad at all. All right, on to the last man standing, which is the poor little Vindicator. Can I get a side angle shot without having to sprint? Because there it is. By doing this, I get to increase my accuracy to the maximum. Let's go full Warlord on him, so he is about to let it rip. And that's how you dig. Oh, it was an ERPPC. That would actually have been something to steal. Should have thought of that, but you know what? We lit him on fire and now he's dead. So coming over here, we are cooking a little bit, but we're doing just fine. And goodbye. Burned him out an additional plus 87 heat. We did destroy his heatsink kit, but at the end of the day, that'll be just fine. So it wasn't just any old Vindicator, it was an advanced Vindicator with all the additional extra technology required in order to run that thing at a maximally efficient capability level. So would have been nice to steal some of this stuff, but really I'm more interested in the Loki. Really kind of hoping we get most of those lucky parts, just because I have no idea what it's going to be like. Yeah, as you can see, we're at 4.1 million C-bills, which is why I took a 2 of 9 salvage mission. So nobody took any major hits, aside from the Bushwhacker and the Burner Boy. Several mechs took no damage at all, despite the fact that they had a Thermobolt running around. We did get the Loki Prime parts. I'm just going to grab these, just in case. Oh my god, it's all 5 of them? Oh, wow. We have a chance. It's not a good chance, but we have a chance of getting it. Is there anything that speaks out desperately needing? I'm good on most of these. Even the extreme range one I don't need. Diffusion cores were fine. Interacts, ferrofibrous. No, I don't need it. Don't need that. Don't need any of this, I think. Yeah, we're good. Please. Please, RNGesus? No, RNGesus saith no. Instead, he gave me the Mr. Stabby part and the Vindicator part, which we'll probably just end up selling. Really, this did not end up super well. Aside from the Loki Prime parts, but oh, I'm so disappointed I couldn't get all 5. That would have been amazing. To immediately jump up to I think it's a 65-ton mech? Oh, that would have been nice, but no, it was not to be. And I doubt that we have any other Loki parts. I know that we have Loki parts from our Apollo's Vipers campaign, because we ran into a pair of Lokis that were standing on top of buildings in an urban mech once, and then we just flattened the buildings, and it was rather hilarious when they ended up dying. But unfortunately, I don't think we have any Loki parts here. We have Quick Draw, a Dragon, and an Orion laying around. And we used to have 5 parts of Warhammer, but we built that into a mech. Yeah. Kind of wish we had saved that ERPPC. I probably would have ripped it off that, put it on the Warhammer, just to have an ERPPC on it. Although a heavy PPC would be a little bit better. Maybe some clan tech on there as well. Still, it's going to take absolutely forever to build, which is kind of to be expected. After all, it is a heavy mech, and we have to build it from scrap. Tortuga taking on Merlin from Davian, as well as a little bit of other work going on around Jade Falcon taking Zara from Tortuga. So it looks like Jade Falcon Ascendant and Rising, 3 days and 16,000 Seables. Absolutely perfect. It's going to take about that long for our pilots to get unfatigued, but we have a lot of cash, so I'm going to end up checking the faction shop just in case. Manage tasks, 16 days for the Hunchback. Just throw the Bushwhacker up to the top just to get it done super quickly, and Warhammer in 25 days, thanks to all the other things. We will run Cycle the Time. 2, 3, stop. Come over here to Lestar. And once we get the store checked out, we'll be probably not going to be anything super special here, but you never know. After all, Tortuga is active. So according to the current Tortuga stuff, there's a Hitman and a Templar sitting around. Ooh, I didn't realize the Templar was in game. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I may end up having to do that, although I can't afford all the parts. Although there's 7 of them, so somebody ran into one heck of a fight. Got some Gauss ammo, some HVAC 20. It's not the HAG 20 ammo that I kind of needed, but other than that, we should be fine there. Don't need any of that. PPCs, ER large lasers are interesting, but it's a normal one. I've already got one. Normal PPCs, 45 damage. I thought these things did 60, but apparently not. Check the missiles. Nothing interesting in the missiles. We already have acid SRM ammo. We have 2 tons of that, so we don't need any of that. Couple of light items. The power armor SRMs are kind of interesting because they fire during the melee phase. So kind of tempted, but not really. Nothing in jump jets. Heatsink. Ooh, there is a double heatsink kit. There are several double heatsink kits. Why doth thou tempt me? Vile temptress. I think I have to take it. I don't have a, well, I don't have a mech to build on it, but it's always useful to have. Gonna cost me most of my money. I think I'm good. Maybe. I'm gonna do it. I have to do it because I am pretty close to a couple of heavy mechs, and we're going to be taking a couple of heavy missions soon. So we do want to save that. It's kind of painful to do because I had 4 million and now I don't. I am saving until Howl gets gunnery aid because she's so close. We could pick up guts, but it's just a plus health, which, well, as the player character, Howl can't actually die, so it doesn't matter. Coach, on the other hand, managed to get a level up on that. We could go for the range increase, but I think this one is a sprint bonus. It is indeed. His other options would have been a plus sensor distance or a health. So yeah, he's getting piloting 7 because piloting 7 is pretty fantastic. Death Crusade is fine. Finn is also fine. Jester has a long way to go before he can level up, but once he gets there, he's our first level 8 pilot, so that's great. Mockingbird is fine. Omega is learning on the simulators. Paradox is fine, and Showboat can get Tactics 5. So this will make her a straight 5 tactics pilot, which is kind of helpful. This is sort of a base level that you kind of need, but really, we need most 6s at this point. But hey, it's time for us to turn right back around. Actually, first quick check of the mech bay to make sure that nothing's actually dented. Now, everybody's good. Okay. So we'll turn this around into another contract. Now again, we are currently saving interrupted exercise because I need that, and I'm not taking a defend base. Just not going to happen. I can take a capture base at 2 skulls, 3 of 13 priority salvage it for 1 million Seabills. I think I'll take it for stuff. Because there's either turrets that are going to have some fun weapons, or there could be some mechs. Besides, I don't need the cash just yet. I mean, eventually we will, but still. Alright, so slotted most of the lines, and then the Nova, the Hoenix Hawk, the Griffin, and the Wolverine. That allows us to field an entire lance of AMX. I didn't realize I was cutting it that close, but I suppose that makes a certain amount of sense. Finn can go in the... right. Something like that. Yeah? No? Maybe? Yeah, that'll be fun. Deploy! Let's go! Let us not waste time as we charge toward the enemy. And hopefully they will not be able to handle the insane amount of firepower that we bring to the table. I just realized that Paradox is currently driving the Burner Boy, and I'm kind of surprised as to why, but it actually makes a certain amount of sense. He rarely just stands still and burns people. Rarely, but sometimes he does, which kind of has had me a little bit worried, because you run in, you burn, you run, and then you burn and run out. So not super thrilled about that. I may need to look into seeing if there's a way to reskill my pilots. I believe there is. but I'm not positive. Because at the end of the day, without having shoot and scoot, that is just such a huge thing not to have. Shoot and scoot is incredibly powerful, just because if you get that free accuracy bonus, and a lot, especially on sort of close range melee mechs, or not melee mechs, but sort of close range brawling mechs, the ability to move in, shoot, and then shoot and move out is super powerful. For that extra accuracy, it just allows you to be extra aggressive. But yeah, abandoned factory. A Turgan patrol detected unexpected signals here on Duxford, and we'd like you to investigate. Analysis suggests that the local pirate organization has reactivated an abandoned factory on the planet's surface. We don't know what this particular facility was used for, but given the effort they're sinking into this, it must be valuable. We want it. This will be 3 or 13 priority. Salvage 326,800 seabills for a 2-skull mission for the grandest of battles. Now, there will be 2 more missions left. There will be an escort mission, and there will be a capture base mission, or a destroy base mission, a something base mission, before the final mission. So we're probably not going to do it next time, but the time after that, we will probably get the Rumble in the Jungle, the interrupted exercise for sort of finishing off the planet, because it's 3.5 skulls and I have no idea if we're going to need a whole bunch of time for it. Alrighty, we've dropped in. We are relatively close to basically everything, so let's not waste time and let's charge right in on the enemy and see what they have to say. So we took this one for salvage because, you know, capture base missions tend to have some pretty interesting stuff. The additional turrets tend to have some pretty cool equipment on board if you happen to be able to steal some of it sometimes. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping for some good luck on this one, and maybe run into a fun mech or something to steal. Preferably, honestly, more dervish parts, because I kind of need them. But we are fighting the local pirates, which could be anything. Although I do have a pirate dervish, so that could actually work out pretty gosh darn good. If I could equip that pirate dervish with just a whole bunch of MMLs, I might retire the Shadowhawk to do that. Because that would be a lot of fun if I threw just MML 20s out of that thing and just see what else I could also cram into it. I mean, you are sort of getting on the edge of what a Shadowhawk or a 55-tonner in general is capable of handling at that point, but still, it is rather hilarious. So we're all sort of moving together, puts us into coverage, and also sort of reduces our footprint and maximizes our defensive setup with our ECM. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is something we should probably be aware of. It's not, you know, the most brilliant thing to ever try. Round 2. Alright, let's go say hi with the Barnaby. Hello. Alrighty, looks like there are automated turrets and, well, nothing else. Huh, I was expecting a lance of mechs, but they must be on the other side. We have some reasonably accurate fire against this turret chassis and no accurate fire against the standard command bunker. So let's go take on the turret chassis first to see if we can't get a little bit of good work done. Oh no, the AMS got involved. Shoot. See, this is why I want to make the Barnaby just nothing but flamers, because that will be super useful. Let's get the Shadehawk in, because the Shadehawk should hopefully be able to dent through that armor. It is stealth, which is unfortunate. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to do a darn thing to it. Alright, run that gun up to 6, and standard turret chassis blow through with Warlord? No, let's just run the gun, see what we get done. I got a couple of hits on target, not the greatest thing ever, but then again, not terrible either.
We have an unknown on sensors.
Oh, something moving through there. We can't actually see it though, so that could actually be a large host of different things, which, you know, could be feeling quite dangerous. So let's go find out. 10%, 8%, not good enough to waste the shots. So we're going to save on the Nova, which apparently does not go. More stuff operating, so we do have several mechs coming up forward. Got a couple of missiles dropping in. It looks like there were swarms, so they're going to be quite dangerous if they actually manage to get some penetration through. Unfortunately, our pilot in the Shadehawk is feeling a bit unsteady. That is not good. 40%, 34, wait, we saw it. You are a spider with a whole bunch of energy mounts. Okay, so you're a close-range spider. You're melee trying to kill me. Fire a couple of shots towards the standard turret, did not manage to get. We also see another mech in the corner. Off in the distance, we have identified a assassin. Ooh, quite the dangerous foe. Turn on the MMLs on SRM mode, maximize their power and capability as we'll charge on forward. I doubt we're actually going to have a very good shot, but it might be something. 31s, we may as well fire. Managed to get a hit. That'll be sensors impaired. Now, this bunker is about to drop a fairly large barrage on top of us, which obviously is going to be rather unpleasant to have to deal with, but it is a price that we must pay for what we do. Can I fire? I could. Oh, a beautiful shot. We've almost gotten through to that armor, which will leave it vulnerable to missiles. Should we, you know, of course, destroy this command bunker, which I think I might be able to do next turn. Should I get the burner boy on target, I should be able to torch it out, even though half of my flamers currently do not work. If at the very least, I should be able to do a lot of damage. So missed us with a tag, and luckily for us, it doesn't look like it was a barrage tag, because that could have been really, really bad. Shobot in your griffin. Why don't you sprint on over here? Sprint on over. Done. Thank you. On over here, we'll try and get a direct line of sight. Yeah, that's probably as good as it gets. Let's see if the AMS. Oh, let's see if the AMS. The AMS is going to shoot this thing down. Watch.
Got it.
Oh no, it didn't. Wow, we only missed by 64%, which, you know, could have been a lot worse. But yeah, I really want to take that command bunker down before, you know, it stops me from being able to do anything. I'm going to test to see what sort of accuracy I can get down. 48%. You know what? Oh, that's tempting. Let's see if we can't get through his defenses on the Starlight command bunker and drown him in missiles. Oh yeah, we can overcome his defenses. Now, unfortunately, he gets to get around against us, and most bunkers... Well, that was pretty scary if you had you actually been able to hit me. Most of these bunkers actually have some sort of barrage tag on board. Yeah, and it just hit us with that. So, big boom.
Not much armor left in that location.
Oh, that's not good to hear that you've lost all your armor. So yeah, big bada boom. The barrage was quite successful. And more PVCs coming in for the burner boy. I think they recognize the fact that he's probably going to be able to shut them down on the next turn. Luckily for us, it didn't hit the burner boy, so the burner boy is going to be able to be rather aggressive moving forward. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get basically right up close on top of you. Yeah, sprinting gets me a little bit further. Actually, no, it gets me the same distance, so that'll be fine. So we're going to get up on top of here. Hi. I'm going to try and burn you out before you can do anything more to me. There we go. Turret destroyed. All right, taken care of with the first one. And what are you? Oh, you're a tree. You are a tree. All right, so we've taken out the first one. The Shadehawk has a jam. That is bad. Oh, that is so bad, actually. All right, let's go flying on forward at maximum jump. See if we can't attract a little bit of attention. Eastern protection going down and full-on brace. Unjammed the gun, unjammed the gun. Alright, so we'll be able to rock and roll next round moving forward. So the Wolverine is in the middle of flames, which is a bit unfortunate because, you know, it's not exactly designed for that role. But it can jump out of the flames for a little bit of nice and safeness. I think we'll target this turret over here that we've already been targeting. Should be able to keep the temperature mostly in control if I shut off the SRM. I can't, actually. So you know what? I'm actually just going to run the gun. He can shut down to the first round, but it generally doesn't happen. Watch, it happens right now. So a little bit of extra damage on him. He's got the temperature under control. He'll be able to handle that next round. We just won't fire the SRM. The Ultra Auto Cannon runs very cool. So we should be able to just keep the fire going down on that. As long as you don't have another one of those. It's a Mantis. I'm not familiar with you. Small X pulses and a large tag. Oh, it's a clan light tag. So I can steal the light tag. That'd be great. A lovely piece of equipment to have for the day. A couple of missiles incoming. More swarms on the burner boy. We're going to want to take care of that before we actually lose some armor. Because that would be very, very bad. Death Crusade can now start coming forward. This will be a phenomenal use of his pulse lasers. I think I saw 48. Oh, that's so much accuracy. Can I actually see the... I cannot see it. So let's break this turret. And all the pulse that you can shake a stick at somehow didn't actually kill him, which actually really surprises and disappoints me. Alright, Mockingbird in the Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk is rather toasty, unfortunately, and it does not have the ability to simply ignore fire, and it's not a chemical fire at that, so I kind of don't want to do that. We're going to shut off that. That'll keep us under control, and I'm going to lob some missiles over here towards this turret in order to finish it off. Alright, so second turret has been destroyed. Got another command bunker on down. Coach is also in the middle of the fire in the Nova. The Nova, thankfully, however, can not ignore things, but can actually get on forward pretty good. Chemical fire, and the Hag actually, amazingly enough, he actually has control over everything. 0.9% is not going to be great. We are unfortunately fighting a very, very irritating problem. I'm going to shut off large lasers. Just give the spider a little bit of love, which actually managed to hit him quite a bit on that one. So the reason I turned off large lasers is that way I'll be able to shoot in future rounds. I don't think they've got any more of those barrage turrets. I see a sniper turret and an Irby, which is, you know, the UMMMs are actually pretty terrifying. The amount of just death that they seem to put out is not fun. So Spider setting up on top of something. Howl is going to move out of here. Now, she doesn't have to worry so much about the heat because she has a radical double heat sink kit, which is absurd in all of the handling that it does. So we're going to see how much fire we actually generate, which is not all that much. Can shoot to the Mantis. I'm going to shut off the MMLs just for heat control purposes. And lob a couple of PPCs in that direction. Had we managed to hit, it would have been really cool.
No joy.
but no connection on that. Ooh, we do see a vehicle of some description in the back. It is a periphery pike. Okay, not worried at all.
Good to go.
So a periphery pike will not have anything super special or dangerous, so I'm going to be able to have no trouble really going after that. 0.9, if I swapped you over to high explosives, also 0.9. So what I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to attack the ground near you, and that will hopefully give me the sort of results I desire.
Firing on target.
We're flattening out the base as we do it. Alrighty, so we definitely want to kill this mantis before we can do anything. It doesn't look like it's super dangerous, aside from all the support that it's granting, and that has me worried. Also, this spider has me somewhat worried, but really the sniper turret and the Irby UMM, he was firing some sort of rapid-fire scatter gun, so that might be a pirate LBX, which is like a rack or something like that. Okay, PPC coming over towards the bushwhacker, not able to connect. He is evasive and dodging, which is lovely. And a chemical laser firing over towards the burner boy. His gun must be jammed, which is pretty helpful to me because I can then move the burner boy to try and blow him apart. We have improved to confident, and Finn gets to move his Wolverine out of, well, wherever it is. I could move towards the water just for that additional aggression. I kind of want to take on this mantis though, and this will put me in a position to start trying to do that. So if I show the mantis, I shut off the SRMs. That actually does not give me under heat. I'm gonna actually risk it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna combine a couple of things. So first things first, we're going to lay the mantis sensor lock down, just for that extra bit of accuracy. Then I'm going to take the target on it, and hope we don't blow up. Got 2 good hits, that takes out the mantis. Now please don't blow up the Wolverine, because that would not be a fair trade for a mantis. He shut down. Okay, that's bad. That means I've got to shut off this Irby turret quick if he turns on again, because the Wolverine's very vulnerable. Now, I did push that a little bit, but I was kind of expecting him to be able to handle the heat. Apparently not. The heat was too much for him to handle, and now he's, well, totally exposed, and I'm a little bit worried about it. It's a fairly tough mech, and it generally doesn't take fire anyway, so it should be able to handle things okay. And they still fire at the burner boy with more of them scatter missiles, so the swarms need to be kind of taken care of sometime soon before too much happens. Coach in the Nova. Coach, can you get to water? You can. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So now that we can get to water, we can be a little bit more aggressive. Should shoot at you. In fact, I think that's exactly what I want to do. Never mind your ballistics jammed. I don't care about you. I'm going to shoot at you because you can move up on me and cause pain. There goes his right leg. Jeez, this Nova is great. Oh, I love it. The Hag is just so much fun to have on here. Combined with the large lasers to open big holes and things, we have a lot of fun with it. Alright, let's move the Gladiator on forward. The Gladiator actually should be able to, just completely kill him. Because that's the plan. I'm going to go for the legs, see if we can't just wipe those out. I only should need... No, I do need 2 hits. I'm going to turn on the MMLs. It's a bit of a disappointment because I don't want to actually blow up the rest of the mech. I just want the leg out. Don't kill the rest of it, don't kill the rest of it. We killed one of the arc things, but we saved most of the center torso, so there might be some interesting things in there. That's kind of what I wanted to go for. I wanted to know what's in it, and if I can find out what's in it, how do I steal it? Alright, move the Griffin on forward. Could get some fire on. That's really accurate. I was not expecting that level of accuracy. Medium cam and a rotary AC5 Pirate. Interesting pieces of equipment. I'm going to set this back to normal mode. That'll reduce my accuracy some, but hey! Oh, I love it when that thing hits. It just looks so cool as it zigzags on in. Alrighty, the Burner Boy, however, can now start really getting into work. Can you jump even further? Don't be inside the base, because that tends to, for some reason, trigger the AI to think that, we've captured the base and we haven't. Take out the sniper turret to prevent it from doing anything too dangerous to us. That's lots of fire, and that has been dealt with. Lovely. So he'll be able to take out the urban mech turret next, and then the periphery pike probably will be the order of death that we lay down. The rotary autocannon is now ready to go, and we should have a target. Turn that gun on.
Roger that.
Hi, buddy. You picked the wrong day. Do I Warlord? Yeah, I'm going to Warlord just so I have it ready for the next, if reinforcements showed up. Just absolutely picked to pieces. The poor little assassin. Oh, you ran into a Shadehawk. Oh, the DACA on this mech is so good. It's so very satisfying to use. Can I get a shot? No, just with this? Alright, we can do that. I might even be able to kill him with Inferno rounds. So I'm going to set these on, turn them to SRMs to set up for the Infernos, 87% accuracy. Let's see if we can't burn out an urban mech. Oh, the line of missiles that just goes right to the target is beautiful, and there he goes. Another turret completely eliminated. We could have taken this one for cash for a lot of extra cash. Now that I realize it, I probably should have, but you know what? Stuff is so much more fun. That really is the driving factor behind me. Stuff is more fun than money. Oh, he nailed it. Structure exposed on the pike, so we almost have that taken care of. He is the only one left to defend the honor of the base, and he's got a really interesting gun, actually. What are you carrying? Unknown ballistics, and the enemy reinforcements have arrived. So we don't quite know where they are just yet. Hopefully, oh, no, we do. We got a pirate saladin. That is unpleasant. We will kill the periphery guy without too much trouble. A bombard. These things can carry twin Gauss rifles. A light SRM carrier. Also quite deadly. Paradox, do you want to go in and just burn this guy out before, you know, all hell breaks loose? Because all hell is about to break loose. I'm going to turn off the MML just to make sure that I've got it available for the next round of shooting. And we're going to just, well, light him on all the fire. So that is the standard forces completely taken care of and down. That'll allow us to move forward with impunity at this moment. So the Shadowhawk can just kind of sprint on forward. Doesn't have a target just yet, but it will soon. Also, this will give it a chance to chill out because it desperately needs to, as does Howl, although not quite as badly. Her mech can handle the heat a little bit better. The Radical Double Heatsink Kit is quite useful to get things under control. But we definitely don't really want to get shot at by all of the stuff that's coming. And alrighty, the Wolverine is going to be back online. Hopefully that'll keep us from having to worry too much about him as we continue to move forward. Now we do have a couple of targets, and she does have a high explosive thunderbolt, which we are going to just lob on top of people. Hi folks, there's just a big old cluster of you here, so accept my gift with love. Hits for the most part all around, so they are now under bombardment, which is really, really helpful. I could probably build like a total Ooh, I got to build something with that arrow. I've got an arrow 4 missile launcher. I need to build something out of it. Don't know what yet, but I'm going to do it. One of the reasons why I actually had been keeping all those Irby parts around was I kind of wanted to build an arrow 4 mech, and I figured if I used it from an Irby, I could probably get the parts for it, but it ended up not being necessary as we picked up the piece of equipment just in general off of a helicopter, which was rather impressive, actually. Alright, so we technically hold the base. So now let's see if we can't steal, well, everything. And in fact, what I'm going to do with Paradox, I'm going to give them the first move, because Paradox can probably get a shot on something should they get to move up. And I kind of want to give them an opportunity to do that. So we'll reserve them, let them come to me. Guys, come on. Just... I get it, we're really good at this, but I need them to come my direction. Wow, none of them got above us 14. That's actually really terrible. I'm trying to remember how heavy the bombard is. I think it's a 50-tonner, but maybe not. It generally carries twin Gauss rifles. It's not particularly well armored. If I can take its head off, that might be the best thing for all parties involved, because that way I won't have to worry about any sort of major incoming damage. Are they just sitting still? Go, to do something. Come on. Okay, bombard, it is 50-tonners. So the showboat is basically going to do exactly what she did last round. There's no reason not to. Prepare another attack at ground with the long-range missiles. See if we can't get some kills going on these very vulnerable missiles, very vulnerable vehicles.
Nice try.
Looks like a little bit more love came their way, and now they get to move once again. Oh, what are you? You were not expected. An urban mech. Okay. That's honestly not all that dangerous. Well, it could be, actually. Let's be honest. Urban mechs can be incredibly dangerous in the right circumstances. You are an unknown type. You have a big box launcher. Let's see if we can't eliminate you from the equation. Oh, just kind of nailed him. There goes his right torso. And right, he had a pepper box. Okay, so he's a primitive Irby. Nothing too dangerous whatsoever. And we've just basically disarmed him entirely. The light SRM carrier is now about to shell the crap out of the Gladiator. But the Griffin's around, baby. And he's got that completely covered with that anti-missile system. Shot down 11 missiles. Only a couple of them actually got through, and that allowed us to be feeling incredibly fine. We're going to move over here, just engage that urban mech a little bit more with the bushwhacker. Can't target anything else, so lob a shell his way. Oh, there goes the left arm. No, he just doesn't have a gun at all. And a knockdown. He's feeling really panicked. Dude, just bail from the mech. It's okay. We understand. It was a bad day for you. You don't... apparently he's not bailing out. He should be, but he's not. Bird Boy getting under reserve because I want the enemy to move forward. Apparently that's not going to happen. Interesting. The Shadowhawk can come on forward and give me that SRM target. Come on. I saw you gave it to me. Just... there it is. Right. 55% on Infernos. Let's give it to him. This is how you do an SRM barrage, buddy. And the vehicle is dead. fully taken care of without any trouble whatsoever. Still have to worry about that Saladin a little bit because the Saladin might be packing an AC-20, and that would be especially unpleasant to have to deal with. And yeah, we would very much prefer not to. I'm going to move the Shadowhawk over here. Hi, I'm just going to kill you super quick. Shut down, gun, times 2. Turn it ultra autocannon mode. Alright, got that taken care of. No more urban mech. Alright, so we just have the Saladin as well as the Bombard to take care of at this point, and the Wolverine not going to be in range of anybody, I imagine. I'm just going to walk him through the water just in order to ultra chill. That way we get the temperature fully under control. Coach! We're not going to offensive push with Coach. Sorry, it's not required. And we're just going to get him on forward as well. He should be okay at actually, critting open vehicles. Paradox, come soaring. Or sprinting, which is... sprinting gets you about as far, so... Alright, let's see if we actually beat them again. We did, pretty badly. The Nova is going to be able to not get a line of sight, which is very unfortunate, so it's going to reserve. On to Mockingbird, who might get a line of sight. If it does, it's going to be very tight. It did not, so reserve. Howl could definitely get a line of sight. I mean, there's very little doubt on that. Yeah, she can definitely see the Bombard with a direct line of sight, no less. I'm going to ignore the thing for now and just shoot the Bombard. We got a couple of hits on... Well, we got a hit with one of the PPCs. Hopefully the Saladin doesn't get to move anytime soon. Coach! You're not the one that I need to move. It's cool that you want to move super eagerly. I get that, but I kind of need to kill this guy before too much hell breaks loose. Shadehawk can fly quite far. And can get a line of sight. Can you run to get that? Yes, you could. So we can run to get that same line of sight, which we will. We'll sprint the Shadehawk on forward. We're going to run this gun at a super high rate of fire. Right there. Now we didn't actually manage to connect, which is a bit unfortunate. We definitely moved to the trees, though. Finn, if you can come in with the Wolverine, you're still not really in range to do anything, but that's okay. We understand your concerns. And that means Death Crusade in the Bushwhacker will run up as well. There is no setting up on Overwatch in this game, unfortunately. I've been playing a little bit of XCOM lately just to sort of relax on things. And you kind of get used to Overwatch really gosh darn quick. So rush the Nova on forward. It really can't operate from super close range. That is a bit of a downside. And the Saladin is going to run away very, very far away. So we're just going to lob a shot his way then, I guess. 13%, 9%. You know what? I can call the shot. Let's call the shot, just see if we can't cause him a little bit more pain and disturbance. And a little bit more damage on him. So yeah, he's definitely starting to get worn down. Saladins already don't have a whole heck of a lot of armor, so when you start really wearing down on them even more, it becomes a bit of a problem. Oh, Shade, why do you hurt me so? He's managed to nail me with the Bombard, nailing us with one of those shots with the Gauss Rifle. And then he's an ace pilot, and he's going to shift on away. Mockingbird will probably not have a target, which is very unfortunate, because if I can get the Shadowhawk on top of this guy, he can basically torch him to the point where he's not going to be able to do anything at all. But that will not happen this round. Paradox in the Burner Boy can now come sprinting on forward, and we're going to just start lighting you on basically all of the fire. You better hope that we hit, because if not, there's going to be a lot of pain all over the place. Alright, so Inferno plus 71 heat, so we have managed to start overheating a mech, which really by all nature probably shouldn't be able to overheat. Just purely based on the fact that he is, well, he's only got 2 Gauss rifles, and it's very, very difficult to build heat when you only have 2 Gauss rifles. Alright, the Wolverine on forward, but he's not going to have a shot, but several other pilots will. So Paradox, right, so remember how I was saying that I don't often need to move and shoot with him? Yeah, we've got to do that. Even more heat and flame. Oh, ooh, mech shut down. Something broke. I think the Gauss rifle may have exploded. We lost a double Gauss rifle. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to steal it. I gotta run out of here. Yes, I have a line of sight on you. He's shut down. I don't need to worry about him. So we're gonna go chase after the Saladin. He's got triple weapons of some description. We've killed him, so we're gonna be able to see what those triple weapons were. Hopefully they weren't just like machine guns or something. And the Shadehawk. Let's just end this Bombard's whole career. It seems fitting that Shade should be the one to destroy it. So, right torso? Right torso. Warlord? Warlord. And we built this mech as a gift to Shade, and that is a mech that Shade has designed and built. It is gone. Completely destroyed. Alright, so incoming dropship. Gonna drop off whatever people's need doing, but that should be the end of the mission for us. Mission successful all around, so not terrible whatsoever. Let's hopefully there's some interesting loot. There's at least a Gauss rifle. There might even be some double ammo Gauss rifle, which is always useful. Because if we want to start building Gauss rifle heavy mechs, which I do, because I want to, build more more gas rifle equipped mechs because they're a lot of fun. But yeah, if we want to do that, we're going to need even more double ammo, which is super important. So it made 235,580 Seabills, only made an additional 10% for blowing up the turrets, a lot less than I thought it was going to be. That Nova took some damage, and the Gladiator, really most of his damage came from the one round where he suddenly just miraculously took a Gauss rifle shell. Spider parts come in bulk on this one, so probably not all that interested in taking. Howitzer 2000, oh, that's probably what it was equipped with. Yeah, that makes sense. Light Tag Clan, probably going to grab that one, just because they're fairly rare. Oh, no, we already have one. Huh. I didn't realize that. Well, now we have two. PPC, it's only 45 damage. I thought they would use 60, so I'm not as interested. A Tagger might be useful. C3 Master Unit, that's pretty useful. A Voice Cockpit, where did that come from? Gauss Rifle, yeah. Shut off some of this, because the C3 Master I'll probably take. But let's get the Fire Control System Gauss, just for the additional, because I have a lot of Gauss Rifles and I like using them. A Clan-like Active Probe. Where did all this Clan Tech come from? It must have been from that, the helicopter thingy. So that's great. I'm going to grab the light active probe because it weighs half a ton and it's a Beagle active probe, which is super useful. Don't need that. The voice cockpit is really tempting because it's just +1 initiative, which is great. But a C3 Master makes enemies easier to spot by 3 in aura range. Increases ally sensors by 2 in aura range. C3 acquires targets within 240s. Shares sensor information. Will remove the fog of war around their vision when a lance member moves. I think they still need to have a C3 slave on board, but I'm going to take that. And apparently SRM 6 is absolutely come in bulk. So lock that one down. Let's see what else we get. Got the assassin part, the bombard. We got the quantity 1 spider and the urban mech pirate, as well as the chem laser. Did get the PPC anyway, a C3 master, which we asked for. The fire control system missile, which could be interested to throw on certain mechs. And yeah, a warfare suite to go alongside with that. So not amazing, but not terrible. The clan tech is going to definitely be very interesting because half a ton to just slot something in is super useful. In fact, what I may end up doing on the Warhammer is ripping out the normal Beagle Active probe that we got on there and instead put on the clan light probe. And that would free up a ton of tonnage, like a full 1.5 tons or 2 tons. So that should help out a little bit. I'm not sure what I would do with that additional tonnage, but I do kind of want to up it to say, you know, a heavy Gauss rifle or something. Or not a heavy Gauss rifle, I'm sorry, a heavy PPC, which would be lots of fun and needs 10 tons, which 3 more tons than what we're looking at. So any net sort of gain on that is going to be really useful. But again, that's not going to be for another 20-something days. So we're very much looking forward to being able to get our hands on that, but it's very much going to be a while, you know, just in case, you know, all bad things end up happening. But yeah, that Warhammer being our first mech, I'm really happy about. I'm just so happy that I was worried it was going to be an Orion, which the Orion is a fantastic mech, but we've had Orions, and Orions are in the vanilla game. I wanted something special, and I'm really, just really happy that it was a Warhammer. One of the Unseen came to us. One of the first mechs actually moved into, ported over from MechWarrior Online over into BattleTech, which was really cool. So need to sort priorities around it. Ooh, 5 days of Gladiator is actually really bad. So we're going to have to just work on that as quick as we can. A couple of days on everybody else, so we will wait a few days just to cycle through our mechs. Send them to the training simulators. Get them additional experience. Jester and Finn, not bad. Argo Gymnasium, another 6 days. That's what I started working on. My original plan was to work on the medical ward with 4.1 million C-bills, but I don't have 4.1 million C-bills anymore. Do a quick check of the store. After all, the faction store will have updated by now, as it has been like 15 minutes. Let's come over to the faction side. And what you got for me, boss? They've got an awesome Battle Master, a Lament, and an Otzel. Not sure if you'd want the Otzel, but hey. Couple of pretty terrible ballistics. Energy, we have some diverse optics. Flamers, I need them. Thank you. I keep forgetting that I need to grab them, so we grabbed them. A TBM 20, that would be so cool to have. Not gonna lie. Thunder ammo, heavy MRM Thunder, I don't think I want to grab. First of all, well, I have a heavy MRM. I may as well get some for it. Oh, but it'd be really expensive. What else is there? Fire Fists. Ooh, I need one of these because I already have. I have one, and do I need it that badly? Alrighty. Do I need it that badly? Because I have one. I'd like a second. Just so I have, you know, 2 Fire Fists just for the maximum punchage. Gem Jets, new. Heat Sinks, new. And there's a Bloodhound Pole. A Harjo 3. Self-repair system. Self-repair system, repair damage each turn, repairs 15 armor in installed location, repairs 5 structure in installed location. That is really cheap. As a black gel developed by clan damage shark is created naturally recurring some of the shark. It's like super cheap. Oh my god. It's spiked armor. So spiked armor is important if you want to build a melee mech because it's plus 20%. That's getting bought. As is the hard gel 3.
Available.
It weighs 1.5 tons. Kind of want to just... no, if I'm repairing 15 and 5 every round, it's really not... By that point, you're dead, is my thought. So probably not. But yeah, the spiked armor is great. Do I still want that Fire Fist? Well, yeah, I just bought the spiked armor. I want a bloody Fire Fist now. Alright, so bankruptcy projected, but you know what? I have the makings of a melee mech now. And I've been saying for a while that we need to take our Shadowhawk and refit it as a melee mech. Because it has two support hard points on the hands. So if we did this... No, just bear with me for a moment, but if we did this, pulled out all this stuff, all this junk that we just don't need, who needs it? Not us. And then we went over here to equipment, spiked armor, maximize that armor, because we're going to need it. It's 5 more tons to maximize the armor. Come over here to a weapon, to a Haymaster tag, Fire Fist, in each fist. Then can't add in any of the laser drills at that point. We're out of support slots. We have some Solaris spikes. Yes, I have 2 of those. Spiked... Oh yeah, it's already in there. Jump jets to the max, of course. Because we want to be able to leap into battle. We probably wouldn't end up doing anything too crazy with it, so I'll give it improved jump jets in the legs. And one more. 5.41 tons. Do I have any... I have a melee gyro. I'm not going to do this today, but I'm just sort of planning it out so we all get a bit of an idea of melee plus. And any other sort of cowl, maybe? Oh, spiked helmet. Right. Spiked helmet for the plus 10% melee damage. Which gives me even more tonnage. Gunnery support B, you're not going to need at that point, because I would rather use that on something else. You don't have sensors, so I don't need any of the recon, so that's all sorted out. You're good on armor. Your Gyro XL you may not need, which I will be very happy to take back. Reinforced leg, sure, why not? I have to move the jump jet, which is not a big deal. So jump jets into the torso. Reinforced leg. Make it hard to break. We're trying to keep the Warfare Suite in there. Retractable blade. And a spiked fist. Now we're talking. And a mask. Right. Think. That's most of a build right there. Oh, no, I can't. I was about to say I could mount chaff dispenser, but I don't have any more support slots. So this would take his average range. Oh, he doesn't need the double heats. Does he? How much heat are you building? 30 exactly. You don't need a double heat, kid. So yeah, that's that is within our grasp. If we wanted to go in that direction, I don't know what that would actually end his melee up to be. According to this, yeah, that I don't trust that, but it says 110 damage. But yeah, lots of additional accuracies, spiked fists, retractable blades, fire fists on top of it. So, 1 evasion ignored, 80% bonus against overheating targets. The only thing that might make it better if I could put in like Inferno ammo. But yeah, this is pretty much in our grasp at this point. I mean, I'd prefer some better arm weapons, and honestly, I would prefer to make a melee mech out of a weapon that has a built-in vibro weapon. So things like a Hatchet Man, Mr. Stabby, the Red Reaper, that sort of thing. But yeah, that might be the future of this mech, because we are getting our Hunchback, which is equipped with a fairly powerful MRM, as well as our Warhammer, which is our first heavy which will be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tyrank. If you like what you've been saying, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press the little bell icon, leave a comment, and make sure that you join us for the streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 5 o'clock so that you can join us on the action with Apollo's Vipers at Clan Start, which is very different from this campaign. A little bit lighter on the mechs at the moment, but you know what? They're filled chock full of clan technology, which allows them to do some rather hilarious things. We'd love to see you there, and I will see you all in the next episode.